Hi there, Dionne here, Community Herbalist and Marketing Outreach Coordinator with Wildrose College of Natural Healing. And today I'm with Wildrose College founder, Dr. Terry Willard, PhD, Master Herbalist, and founder of the whole college. And we are here to talk about all things flower essences. We want to talk a little bit about flower essences because we are featuring a flower essence intensive coming up in the Wildrose Herbal Village, and we're restarting our Flower Essence Friday feature over on our public page. So we just want to talk a little bit about flower essences, what they are, how they work, in your opinion, Terry, and you of course have used them for almost 40 plus years in your clinical practice. So we'd love to hear your perspective on what they are and what they offer. So tell us, I know you share this in our Wildrose curriculum, but for everyone else, why do you think flower essences work?
Well, it's kind of a hard question to answer because I'd have to say that when I first came across flower essences with my training in biochemistry, I really actually didn't think they worked at all. It didn't make any sense to me.
Of course.
But then I started using the Bach flower remedies. This is back in the mid-70s. I started using the Bach flower remedies, and I was really quite surprised how it really assisted some of my patients. But between 1970 and let's say the early 90s or so, I would use them on about 10 to 20% of my patients. But I would have to say from about 2002 on, I was using it on 70 to 90% of my patients. So wow. I would say that almost all of my patients were using flower essence. Some people totally objected to it because it didn't make any sense to them.
Right. And
so that's what they did. But in reality, it came out to be, it's such a big function of how you can treat a person because it really works in the center of gravity. So the real question is, how do they work? And I basically think that flower essences are tapping into the dreams of the flowers. And by tapping into the dreams, this is a non-physical realm, or what we would actually call the etheric astral body of us and the plant. And by doing that, it helps energize us from a different body than our physical body. And that information flows into the genetic code, the blueprint, all the rest of things, and really eases a person out. Another way of looking at it, as soon as a person has less anxiety or less emotions tied up in an issue, the herbs, the other botanicals seem to work very much better. So let's say I had a person that had a heart problem. If I went back and found out they had, were jilted in an emotional relationship, or quotation marks, had a broken heart, as it were, if I use the flower essences, things like the pink yarrow, obviously bleeding heart would be very useful there, and lots of times barrage, these would really help energize it. Another way of looking at that is, for years I would be giving people, I'm just going to use the heart example again because it's an easy one to look at. I was using all kinds of nutrients, diets, exercise, and certainly all kinds of botanicals to be able to work on people's heart conditions, and some people just didn't work.
I see.
But it seemed that as soon as I put the flower essences, it took kind of an energy away from the heart. It blocked the energy, the physical energy. So now the actual botanical and should I say physiological medicine, the chemicals, could actually get into the heart and do their job. So I feel that we have both a physical body and an emotional body. Right. I have several other bodies too, but you need both of them to flow together. So I think it helps enter into the non-physical realm of our dreams to be able to work with their dreams, to be able to chill a person out so they can work better. And obviously it's not just about the heart. There's so many other issues. When I started really using them heavily, I realized that at least 80% of the patients I was seeing, their issues were related to emotional traumas in their life just as much. I've also put them together with various counseling. I really use an awful lot of family, or sometimes called systemic constellation therapy, with some of my patients with this. But flower essences are really simple. partly what it is a positive affirmation every time you take them
Yes.
of those emotional things that you too can heal them. Some people it's dramatic, some people it's not dramatic. A person doesn't even have to believe in it or even know that they're flower essence for it to work, which is a good plus as far as I'm concerned.
That is, Terry. Actually, that was going to be my next question. It was going to be like, what if, you are one of those people that is sort of outside your realm of possible belief, and you give those people flower essence, and you're saying it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Not always, of course. Nothing's always. But yeah, lots of times you would have a spouse giving it to someone and they don't even know they're taking flower essence. As far as they think, they might be taking a prostate tonic. They don't know what they're taking.
Right.
It's just lined up in front of them for them to take. They take it and they haven't got a clue, and it still works on that individual.
That's fantastic. So what you're saying is, you in your clinical practice, you evolved to use them more and more and more, and so that you almost felt like it was a key component almost of the protocol, and that like without that emotional healing piece, without dealing with whatever your particular life trauma is, whatever your particular emotional issues, it helped support the work of the herbs and the botanicals that much better. It almost like made way
or supercharges them or turbocharges them in a way.
Okay, fantastic.